Jones with the National Tile Contractors Association. I have with me Rob Roderick, also with the National Tile Contractors Association. Today we're talking, put yourself on a pedestal, pedestal systems. When we're talking pedestal systems, some of the things we have to consider is our conditions ahead of time. If it's an exterior, if it's an interior, most of the time it's exterior. If it's over an occupied space, we need to consider that also. If it is, the membrane, the primary membrane underneath, needs to be by others. That's not our responsibility to do so. I didn't bring, oh yeah, there it is, a level.
Yeah, we've got a level
Another
here.
thing too is the slope. We need it to slope away from the wall at about 1/4 of an inch, at least 1/4 of an inch, sorry, to a maximum of 1/2 an inch away. Mm-hmm. In this instance, we're 1.5 inches and 4 feet, which is 3/8 of an inch per foot of slope. In addition to slope, we're also going to talk flatness. Mm-hmm. We don't have it, but that's fine.
Yeah, we can use this.
I don't know if you can see from there, but the flatness of this meets within the required amount. And then also on an angle. Earlier on today, we had a little bit of a dip right here, and we used the proper material to go ahead and patch that out, and then we membraned over the top of it. We're going to call this installation over a non-occupied space, so we don't have to worry about the primary waterproofing system by others. Yeah. Hi. Some of the benefits, let's talk about some of the benefits of a pedestal system in contrast to a bonded system. In a bonded system on the exterior, the maintenance is going to be pretty brutal on that. You're always going to have that freeze thaw, that cracking, and it's going to deteriorate at an increased amount from the inside. So let's say you had a shower inside and you put that in the same time you put in an exterior bonded, those would deteriorate the exterior at a more rapid pace than the interior. Yeah. In order to get away from that, this system is free floating, so it can kind of ebb and flow with that freeze and thaw process that's going on. Another thing too is that since this is sloped away from our wall or our room, we can make the pedestals, in fact we are going to make the pedestals perfectly level. So you're not walking up and down, your table isn't on a tilt or whatnot, it's perfectly level in that case.
Yeah. So one of the things that we offer at the National Tile Contractors Association is technical support. And one of the most problematic installations that we have are exteriors, and especially exterior balconies. So, and like Chad said, it's that freeze-thaw cycle that's so detrimental to a tile installation. You have the slightest little crevice in there, some water gets in at night, it freezes, those water molecules get bigger and expand. That happens over and over and over, and so because of that, when we do a bonded installation, we're going to have to continue with maintenance. With this installation, like we were talking about, the water, we don't grout the joints, the water flows through it. We've got our slope and that primary waterproofing underneath it. With a bonded one, we would have to have that slope in our installation. So when your table's sitting out there and you got your iced tea, everything's kind of tilted over, but with the pedestal system, everything's going to be nice and flat, and I've been really impressed with it, and a lot of our members have been using it, and we actually have a letter coming into the NTCA reference manual about the use of pedestals. So, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
That's fine. Another benefit of the pedestal system is, say you drop something and you do break it. It's very easy to replace. You just pop out that one panel or the one tile and replace it with another. Yeah, while you're at it, you could even run electrical or cables or water, anything underneath that. Is super easy to do during installation and after installation. Say you had a plant in the corner and you wanted to water it, you can hook it up to the hose and get a drip system all underneath the system.
So our whole theme, we've got 7 programs this week. It's all about exteriors, and we've got one that is going to be about exterior decks, and some of the methods, we always want people to use methods according to our industry standards that we find in ANSI and the Tile Council of North America. When we don't have those standards, we want to depend on the manufacturer and make sure that we're following their directions. But we're going to show a couple of balcony methods, industry recognized methods later on in the week, and there's a tremendous amount of weight with these methods. Some of them require a full gravel bed and a full mud bed, and then the installation. And the thing I'm always thinking about is, you know, if you have a primary waterproofing problem and you've got tile that's glued to a mud bed that has gravel underneath it, trying to find that leak, it can be very expensive and difficult. But with the pedestal system, we can pick those pieces up, find the leak, put them back. Also, it offers us a way to change the floor covering quicker if it, you know, uglies itself out, which sometimes tile does. You know, we want to make a change, pretty easy to do.
Yeah, talking about easy also is that this system here is very easily and modular. So if you have your base plate, you have your top, you can hook them together, spin them in, there you have, and you can spin it all the way down. Say you needed extra height, you can take this piece right here, line it up, and I'm gonna have Rob Roderick go out.
Yeah, I'll show.
It clips right in. Then you can stack these base plates or these center extensions all the way up to whatever height you wanted.
So here's the base plate, here's the extension. Actually, I'll let you guys kind of mess around with that if you want.
Actually, just go ahead and hand you this if you want to hand it around.
I tell you what I really like too is they got some nice tools and finish profiles.
They have a tool here. This actually has 3 different things that you can do with the tool. We have different tabs depending upon the grout joint that you want. They have 1/8 inch and 16th inch, and this tool is actually made to where you can break those tabs off if on the end or for some reason, you know, you come to a corner, you don't need that tab there. Also, it has lines on the back for in the corners when you have to cut the pedestals themselves to slide them into the corners. It also has a yellow ring. You see this yellow ring? Why don't you just hand some out so you guys can see it? You'll see a yellow ring in here, and this tool acts as a wrench to tighten that yellow ring to hold everything in place once you get it exactly where you want it. So I could take this, tighten it, lock that into place. This other end right here actually goes down into the pedestal, and you can raise and do micro adjustments with the pedestal with the tile on top of it. So a really cool tool that you need for this particular system.
Yeah. It's a very easy system once you get used to it. Another thing is, like I said, those middle pieces, they're all the same. So you can have one box of middle pieces, say, and you can go ahead and pull out however many you needed and then adjust from there. All right, let's go ahead and get it going. We're going to start at our highest point, and we're going to work our way out of there, making sure that we're all nice and level. If you can get a couple pedestals, or
So I don't know if I can see that from the camera here, but this has a floating head, which is a really cool feature on here. We wouldn't necessarily want to lock these rings down if we do have slope, because we want to take advantage of that floating head.
Yep. You got those ones, or you want to just go ahead and put a pedestal?
I guess we'll go ahead, yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and go this way.
Wait, I got to turn.
So we're just trying to make it sure that we're not on those tabs, using its self-spacer. And then we'll check it for level and plumb, level. Need to go down a little bit on this side right here. Super easy, just take the tool, put it in there, just spin it a little bit, there we go.
That's all that took, just a little bit of a turn.
There we go, adjusted. Making sure that we're nice and square here. And then let's go ahead and get another one.
Okay. I don't want to be in front.
I don't know if you can see it from there, but there's also this little piece of metal right here. What that does is it holds the pedestal from sliding out on the top, keeping that space away from the wall. You still need to make sure that you're having adequate space from hard points. They're going to expand and contract, and we don't want to be right up against it.
Yeah, so we did a little bit of setting up behind the scenes. I want to let you kind of know what we did. Basically, we worked out our layout, and we have a whole layout program from the NTCA that you can come see. That's another talk. But with this particular corner piece, we use that tool to break off all of the tabs. On this one here, we're just breaking off 2 of the tabs and lining it, and that allows us to slide it in and out. We don't have to have all 4 of those tabs. Some pedestal manufacturers would want you to cut that completely in half, the entire pedestal, so that makes it real easy when we can just break off 2 tabs and slide it forward.
You want to put that one in? Right up against it. Make sure we're nice and square. If this was to continue on, then the pedestal wouldn't be in the half. It would be, you know, underneath it fully, and we wouldn't break off those tabs. It would just continue on from that point. Put in another one. You can see how easy it is. Basically, you're just attaching pieces. Once you get it pretty leveled, it's pretty quick. There we go. I just was on a tab right there. So once again, I'm going to check it for flat. Right there, a little bit tight. What do you need?
I was looking for that pedestal right here. Hopefully I might have gave it to the audience. All right. Ran off with my pedestal, huh? All right.
There we go.
Hey, thanks. Yeah. He had the only important one, the cut one with the broken tabs, just the way I wanted it. And that was my fault, by the way. Gave out the wrong one. So I tell you, a really cool thing about this system is the end treatments that they have as options. I'm going to stay away from that speaker.
He just made a full circle. Did you see that? So with the spacer here, what you can do is you can take this tool. It'll fit completely into the joint. And if we're off a little bit, we can raise and lower this system right from inside there, pulling it out and having adjusted it right there. They also have, like what he's getting, if we were to put this edge trim and or that one underneath the front of this, that would hold it for the skirt or for the riser.
So you could have a riser piece that covers the front of these pedestals, and you'll see that there's a slot in here. So you got a couple of options. It has holes, so we could use thin set and literally attach it to the front surface, the riser piece. But they also have clips that will snap on the bottom of the pedestal. I think we got some down here.
Yep.
That will lock that in where it's not actually fastened with the thin set. If that's the one, or is this?
Nope, that's not it. This is it right here.
Yeah.
Do we have one that's in half circle already cut? No.
So
okay.
there's 2 different, this is another profile that they offer right here. Same kind of thing. You can see there's a slot that you can put that riser piece in to help hide this front edge. And now we got a perfectly level surface. We brought 1.5 inches.
This piece right here, if you would cut off on the line, it fits right inside there, and then it would be the base plate for your pedestal riser to go ahead and slide right in there. So you have your top piece and you have your bottom piece, and they slide right in there, holding that vertical edge.
Now, we have pre-cut corners. Don't have to do any fancy mitering, so. All right.
A good thing about this system, once again, is it's modular, so you can just keep on going from there, but making sure that you can have your elevation at the end. I'm trying to think, do we have the corner here? No, we don't.
The
Okay.
metal corner?
Yeah, so yeah, okay, so they also make a corner piece in this, and then we had a piece, we didn't forgot to bring it up, but these tiles can actually be cut with a score and snapper. So, I mean, it's 2 cm, you'd think I'm going to have to cut everything with a saw. They actually can be cut. There's a manufacturer out there that's right now cutting them right now, probably. What you got? Oh.
We got this where you can actually lay down a full joist, and it gives you a variety of different opportunities to do different floor coverings as well.
Yeah, so in a situation like this, if you have the 4 cm, the really thick material, this you could go over that and expand and
So
go ahead and
these are going to lock into the pedestals, and it would also help with pattern work and stuff, you know, making sure everything had good support on it. So.
Yep.
All right.
I'm going to ask any questions. Does anybody have any questions about like just pedestal systems in generic?
We know the manufacturer's close, and we can get answers if we don't have them. We know people. So anyway, we learned a lot.
Question
though.
over here.
Say
Why
again?
is it so hot right now?
In this room, why is it so hot? Well, I can answer that question if you want me to.
Go ahead.
All right, so like I said earlier, the NTCA, one of the things that they offer is technical support. So we have close to maybe 2,000 members all over the United States. It's probably the best value of being a member. If any of you guys are tile professionals or not members, you need to go over to our booth and become one. But in that process of answering those technical questions, a few things stick out as really problematic. And one of them is steam showers, but even ahead of steam showers, exterior deck systems. So when we're getting these phone calls on failures, lots of times they're exterior deck failures. A lot of that could be solved by maintenance issues. One thing that we talked about earlier, and I want anyone to know that does exterior work, tile work, is in ANSI, there's a maintenance section in ANSI A108.02. And what it says is all installations, but especially exterior installations, require periodic inspection and maintenance. And it is the owner's responsibility to provide for that inspection and maintenance. So one thing, that communication isn't being done. You know, how many times have you bought something and someone said, hey, do you want a maintenance plan with that? It happens all the time. Well, we need to do that with exterior tile work because it takes a real beating. We've got temperature extremes that are much, much further. And so with these bonded methods, they're having a lot of difficulty and what is perceived as a failure because of that maintenance not being done. And so when you have a bad experience with having the customer really aggravated at you and maybe you've spent a lot of money and you see a system like this that allows the water to flow through it freely, it's not going to destroy the assembly because what's really damaging is that freeze-thaw cycle. And if you were to look at a map of the United States, almost 95% of the United States has a freeze-thaw cycle. I'm from Springfield, Missouri. We have 70 freeze-thaw cycles a year. So if you have just a micro crack between the grout and the tile, that water works in there, and when a water molecule freezes, it gets bigger. It expands and opens that up. So imagine that happening 70 times a year. So one of the things that we encourage our members to do is if you're not going to use a system like this, you're going to go with some type of bonded system to make sure and manage the customer's expectations and say, hey, look, ANSI says this needs to have maintenance, and let's set you up with the maintenance program. Let's figure out how many hours we're going to put, how much material we're going to put into next year. We kind of make it like when you buy a truck. You know you're going to have to change the oil on the truck, right? You're going to have to change the tires on the truck. So if they're expecting this exterior job to perform like their little bathroom in their interior, it's not going to. So managing the customer's expectations is where a lot of the failures have been. But I tell you, you get stung on a couple of these balcony decks and you don't want any part of it, and a system like this just works great. I mean, as soon as I saw it, I thought, well, this is fantastic. You know, the water works through, gets right out. That's what you want. You want the water out of there as quickly as possible because it does the most damage. That was a little lengthy, but did that answer your question? Okay.
And easy maintenance. He
Yeah.
said that, I say easy maintenance.
Yeah. Great question. What other questions have we got?
No? Okay. We're at booth 3938. If you have any questions afterwards about the pedestal systems or any other system or just becoming a member, National Tile Contractors Association, our primary
Mission.
the thing that we do is teaching and education.
Training and education. Yeah. And like I said earlier, if you guys aren't a member, lots of great benefits to being a member. I'll go over them real quickly. One of them is you have the resource to be able to call us. We'll send you the Tile Council North America Handbook. We'll send you the NTCA reference manual, and we'll send you the ANSI standards. So you pretty much are getting the legal documents for our industry. I mean, if something gets serious and heaven forbid you're in court somewhere, more than likely the judge is going to say, what does your industry standards say about that? What are the best practices or guidelines? That's where it ends up. And so when we follow those, what we do is we decrease our liability and increase our profitability, and that's what we're all about at the NTCA. We want to see you guys be successful. We're here to support our members, so we give you technical support, all the reference manuals. Also, you can use this logo in your business if you are a member. You can put this on this, proud member of the National Tile Contractors Association. We've been around for 75 years. We're a nonprofit organization. Another terrific thing is the manufacturers, they support your decision to become a member, and here's how they support it. They say, hey, if you're going to become a member, we're going to give you some product. And so normally membership is $700, but at this show, it's $200 off. It's $500. So you sign up, you get $500. These manufacturers will give you $2,000 of product. You get to select that out of a pool of $7,000 worth of vouchers. We give you vouchers. And it's just a terrific organization. If you're a tile professional, you need to be part of your professional association. So come on over, we'll get you signed up super easy. You fill out a form, we swipe a card, bam, you're a member. It's that easy, all right?
Any questions? Last call. Nope? All right, thank you guys.
Thanks.